Good evening, everyone. My name is Avantika, and my research mainly focuses on how biological sex influences the immune system and it contributes to the differences in cancer incidence. Now, cancer is one of the most leading causes of death worldwide, and but men and women experiences a bit differently, and men generally have like a higher chance of cancer rates at most organ sites, while women on the other hand have are more prone to autoimmune diseases. Now, these patterns suggest that immunity plays a central role in shaping the health outcomes, and the immune system is designed to eliminate any abnormal cells before they become any like tumors or anything. But it can also be mistakenly attack the healthy tissues present, which causes the autoimmune conditions. Now, research shows that sex hormones, X-linked genes, and epigenetic factors are the key drivers of these differences. And estrogen tends to enhance the immune surveillance, which helps in detecting tumors, but it also increases the autoimmune risk. And the testosterone hormone, on the other hand, suppresses the immune activity, and which lowers the autoimmunity, but um, it allows tumors to escape detection. And my research mainly examines these genetic, hormonal, and cellular mechanisms to better explain how the sex influences cancer outcomes. So, the goal of my study was to explore the biological mechanisms that explain sex-based differences in immunity and how they influence cancer incidence. In order to do this, I conducted a structural literal review using academic databases such as PubMed, NCBI, and ScienceDirect, and other resources as well. Now, I use the Boolean search terms like the sex differences in immunity, cancer incident in male and female, hormonal immune regulations, and X-linked immune genes as well. Now, to ensure the reliability of my research, I restricted my results to peer-reviewed journals, review articles, and book chapters published in English, of course. And following the Prisma style guidelines, I screened and selected the most relevant sources that were there. And this method allowed me to build like a solid foundation of evidence for my whole analysis. So, yeah. So one of my major contributors to sex-based immune differences is genetics. Now, females have two X chromosomes, obviously, and which contain many immunity-related genes as well, like including the TLR7 and FOXP3. And normally, X chromosome is inactivated to balance the gene expression, but it's sometimes this inactivation is incomplete, and as a result, females may express certain immune genes at a higher levels, and which gives them a stronger immune response. This genetic advantage enhances the tumor surveillance, but it also comes at a cost. Now, the same mechanism increases vulnerability to autoimmune diseases, now such as lupus and multiple sclerosis, which are more common in women. So while genetics strengthens cancer defense in females, they also increase the risk of immune system overreaction. Now, sex hormones is another key drivers of immune differences. And estrogen, which is a higher in females, stimulates immune activity by promoting T cells and B cells responses, as well as activating natural killer cells and monocytes. Now, this makes the immune system more efficient at detecting and removing tumor cells. However, this heightened activity can also tip the balance toward autoimmunity. Testosterone, the dominant hormone in males, has the complete opposite effect. It suppresses immune responses, which reduces the likelihood of autoimmune diseases. And unfortunately, this suppression also makes it easier for cancer cells to grow undetected. And this hormonal contrast between estrogen and testosterone is one of the main reasons why cancer and autoimmune patterns differ between the sexes. Now, beyond genetics and hormones, sex-based variations are also visible in the composition of immune cells. And females tend to have a higher numbers of CD4 plus T cells and B cells, as well as more active natural killer cells. These cells strengthen both adaptive and innate immunity, but however, males have slightly more CD8 plus cytotoxic T cells, but overall, their immune activity is lower because of the suppressive effects of testosterone. And recent findings, including the published in Science Advances, show that these differences are not only hormonal, or the genetic and epigenetic regulations, particularly involving the X-linked immune genes, also play an important role in shaping these immune cell differences as well. Now, from this review, several key patterns became very clear to me as well. That females, first of all, that females benefit from stronger immune surveillance, which reduces cancer risk, but they face a higher chance of developing an autoimmune diseases. And males, on the other hand, experience fewer autoimmune disorders, but are more like vulnerable to cancer because of weaker immune activation. And basically, in other words, sex differences in immunity act as a double-edged sword, you could say, and that each side has an advantages and its own drawbacks. Now, these findings show that the understanding of immunity through the lens of sex is vital for interpreting the cancer outcomes. So to conclude, the sex-based immune differences are shaped by genetic, hormonal, and cellular factors, and they significantly influence cancer incidence. Now, these insights highlight the need to consider sex as a biological variable in research and in clinical practices as well. Now, cancer prevention strategies and treatment approaches must take account into these differences to improve the effectiveness as well. Now, clinical trials in particular should evaluate both male and female immune responses rather than applying a one size fits all approach that they have currently. In the future, advances in personalized medicine may allow us to tailor therapies based on the sex specific biological patterns, which ultimately improves the outcomes for both men and women. So now, my main experience with Talaria. So an important part of my research journey was participating in the Talaria program, and this opportunity allowed me to explore my topic in depth, which also gives me the structure and mentorship needed to refine my ideas. And through Talaria, I developed skills in literature review, critical analysis, um, and and scientific writing. And I also gained a lot of confidence in presenting my work. And I'm especially grateful to my mentor. Her name's Andrea, which whose guidance and support was invaluable in helping me improve my research and overcome all of my challenges that I faced throughout the whole process. And I would also like to thank the Talaria community, of course, for fostering an environment of collaboration and encouragement as well, which actually helped me and boosted my confidence a lot as well. Yeah, that's it. So these are the main references that I used. These are a few articles from different sources as well. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.